What's up, everybody? I'm back with another roller coaster review from Kings Island. This is of the legendary in-house coaster from 1979, the Beast. One roller coaster extremely famous for its legendary night ride, which I was able to get. I feel very fortunate, very lucky to have gotten a night ride. And was also able to get a day ride in order to give it a full review and experience. It had just gotten a GCI retracking this year to make it a lot smoother. It opened a little bit later in the season because of that, but we were able to get a ride in on it. It was open the Sunday before, open for the season, Sunday before we went, so we were able to get two rides in on it, and it was excellent. So let's jump into it. First of all, finding this ride was a little difficult because it is I don't want to say it was difficult, but it's in a dead end zone of the park. The Beast has like its own little area that it sits in. But thankfully, leading up to the ride, you actually can see on the pathways they have footprints, like Beast footprints leading up to the queue line of the ride, which I think is a little nice touch. None of the other rides had that. And it shows how much care Kings Island has put into, and how much dedication, like how much presentation that they've put into the Beast. They do want to promote this thing and wanted to make it their classic in-house coaster. They've put a lot of time and a lot of effort into it. I think it paid off very well. I gotta say though, the operations on this coaster were definitely lacking. This was definitely the coaster that had the worst operations all day of all the coasters that we rode, and I don't know why it was. I think they had running two trains, and I don't know, they were slow dispatches. Maybe it was just because the ride's long, so that they wait for it to clear to a certain point in the ride, and because it's a long ride, maybe I don't know, say maybe it's like waiting that long. I don't know. It just, especially in our day ride, the night ride was a little bit better as far as dispatches go because we had higher crowds, or I don't know, but I saw it. And during they definitely were not firing on all cylinders there, which is very uncanny for Kings Island. Now, was it bad by any means? No, it wasn't bad. They were still moving everybody along, and it was a high capacity ride, so people were able to move along pretty well. So it wasn't a horrible experience. It wasn't bad by any means. It wasn't not like Six Flags bad, but for Kings Island standards, it was, I thought, on the lower end. So also, there was a funny thing with the restraints whenever they went, like, unlocked went up, or they locked went down, like ready to lock. They all went off like I thought that was funny. Like, no other coaster I've ever seen did that. It's like they it was so funny, like how that happened. It was so great. It was like weird, I thought, but it was just like you knew that you were about to be locked in, or you knew you were ready to be able to get out when that happened. It was a cool signal, sort of thing. Now, how about the ride experience itself? Because there were some mixed opinions on the Beast. I knew that if I put too high expectations on this ride, I was going to be let down. I did not want that. I wanted to have a great experience on the ride. I told myself, it's just a bunch of twists and turns, but it's through a forest. So have fun with it. I also knew that the trims were there. The ride still does have the trims. But I still think it carries a good amount of speed for what it is. Especially in those tunnels, it feels like you're flying in those tunnels. It was amazing. Now, as far as the retracking, I thought it was pretty smooth. You know, it's like Mystic Timbers. It's a wooden coaster, so it's going to have some sort of roughness to it. But I thought for an old coaster, even though it did get retracked, it was really smooth. Like, it was smooth. Like, super enjoyable. The lift hill was pretty slow, I will admit. Especially at night, there were lights atop the lift hills, and they were blinding. They were so bright. They were super blinding. I don't know if they were just replaced or they've always been that way. And then the first tunnel, like right after the first drop, also has lights in it. But other than that, the ride is just complete darkness at night. And I'm not going to try and rate this ride too much solely off of its night ride, simply because not everybody gets to ride it that way. The night ride definitely did severely, highly boost my opinion of this coaster. It was incredible. You get past that first drop, the first tunnel, and you're in the woods. It's just so dark. and you're just flying through these woods, and you get the cold air of the night on you. And when the tunnels, it is pitch black in the tunnels. It was just incredible. Lived up to every hype that the night ride for this thing could ever have. And now, if I can ever go to Coaster Nights and ride the Voyage at night, I would be able to compare the two. But I don't know if I'll ever be able to get out to that, because it's only a 2-night event, and it's the only time they ever run it at night, and the only time it's ever run off with the trims. I would like to ride the Voyage someday, but for now, gotta stick with the Beast. And man, this thing was amazing. Even in the daytime, it was a fun ride, and you could tell that it really does carry a lot of speed. The trims were there. They carry a lot of speed still carried a good amount of speed through the turns. I mean, the turns were fast, and it's not intense by any means. There's no moments of airtime or anything like that. What it is just basically a bunch of twists and turns through the terrain of the forest. And take that as you may, how much you would really enjoy a ride like that, but I loved it. I thought it was a nice little adventurous ride, and you can't even see it. I mean, like, you can go in blind, and even at the park, all you can see are the two lift hills. Like, even from the observation tower, all you can see are the two lift hills, which is crazy. That you can't. It's so well hidden, you can't even see it. Like, train doesn't even go by the Beast. Nothing. You can't even see it. It is crazy. Now again, just a bunch of twists and turns, dips. The tunnels were really fun though. I gotta admit, the tunnels were amazing. And each ride in half, the two lift hills, they work. They divide it into about 2 sections. But I mean, final thoughts on this ride. It was smooth. For an old wooden roller coaster, it was smooth. Good speed, even with the trims. I thought, hell of a night ride. That was a bucket list thing for me, and it lived up to every hype that I had. And even in the daytime, really, really fun. Fun drops, good experience. The only thing that was kind of a turn off for me was the operations. They were a little bit slow, but we handled it. It was okay. I'm gonna have to give this ride a 8 out of 10 for me. I want to give it a 9 out of 10 so bad, but the layout is very uninspiring, and you just have to take that as you may. I still really enjoyed it though, and I really hope that I get to ride it again sometime. Hopefully a little bit more pitch blackness. We rode it as dark as we possibly could. When it got as dark as possibly could. Maybe ride a little bit more dark would have been more fun, but I got a true night ride in my opinion. I absolutely loved it. So that has been my review of the Beast. If you've ridden the Beast prior to the retracking, or also during the post retracking, you've ridden it at daytime, you've ridden it at night, what is your experience? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your experiences. Is this ride as legendary as the people say it is in your opinion, or do you think it's overrated, or do you think it's even underrated? I would love to hear your comments. So that's gonna do it for this review. Stay tuned for much more amazing content as we grind through these coaster reviews and much more amazing stuff. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.